Hello Christchurch School students, this is John Guerin again. So right now I am going to show you how to make your own catapult. Alright, so I chose a design that would be simple to make, a lot of variation with supplies that you might have at home. So let me show you what the design, and we'll go ahead and get started. So the supplies you're going to need, I chose one that would use craft sticks, rubber bands, and a bottle cap. Now, if you don't have craft sticks at home, I have the normal size ones. I have about 5 or 6 of those. You could use a pencil to fill in for these if you don't have craft sticks, but I'll show you in a minute. I use 2 jumbo craft sticks. If you don't have the jumbo ones, that's fine. You could use the 2 regular ones. You can also use 2 chopsticks, a spoon, and a plastic knife and a spoon. I have a piece of paper, and I used a quarter of a piece, so you rip it, and that would only be so it would fit into the bottle cap, or milk cap. If you had one of those, that would be fine too, but that's why I chose a quarter piece. Another thing that works really well is the eraser out of those little mini erasers that you might have, or an eraser out of the top of a pencil, but make sure you don't pull them out of the regular pencils. This is one that came out of a mechanical pencil. And that's what different things you can use for ammunition. If you have a pom-pom, or you can use cotton ball, those are things that you can also use. So let's get into making it. All right, I'm going to use the one with the popsicle sticks first. So there's a couple of things that you need to do with the popsicle sticks. This is going to be your point at which that you pull back against the foundation. So it's going to be like this, and this will give you your rise, so this way it gives you something to launch against, a fulcrum that you can launch against. So you need 2 rubber bands, 1 for each side of here. Now, these have to be tight, but when we do these 2, they're going to be loose. Now, before I put the second one on, using popsicle sticks, it's easier. I found it's easier if you open up the popsicle stick and get this one of them in there first, and then you can tighten down the other side. It's easier to do than trying to feed it through later. Okay, and again, these have to be tight. So this will slide with some resistance. Okay, now you need the other one, and this is where you will need to not do it so tight, because you want the rubber band to really pull on it. Otherwise, what happens is you just keep bending the popsicle stick or the craft stick, and eventually this just doesn't respond like it does with the rubber bands. So watch what we're going to do. This one again is going to be looser. I made several wraps with these to making it tight, and I'm only going to do maybe 2 or 3 with this. Now it may look loose, and if you're using a different style rubber band, maybe you go around 1 more, but with the size that I'm using, it takes 3. Now this is how you can test. I'm going to push this forward, and watch what happens. When you squeeze down, the rubber band gives more than the craft stick, and you want it to be so the rubber band is what stretches, pulling your catapult back up. All right. The last step is to take a bottle cap. Now you can take tape, and double-sided tape or duct tape would be good, because you don't want this flying off. Regular tape might not hold very well. When you also put this on, don't put it way back on here at the end, and there's a reason for that. You could put your finger back here, but sometimes there's sharp edges on here. It'd be best if you could make it so it sticks with giving yourself a little bit right back there. So I'm going to roll the tape, 1 piece of tape. Again, I'm using Scotch tape just to show you that it can be done with anything. Like I said, duct tape would probably be a little bit better. But what you really do need to make sure is that it doesn't come off. So, and leave yourself a little bit of a gripper in the back. Then with Scotch tape, I'm going to come across the side here. Again, we really don't want this coming off. Okay, so the roll actually stops it from sliding left like any off, and the tape that goes around here is really what's holding it on. Okay, so here we go, and let's find out how it works. One more thing I want to highlight and stress is, in the Innovation Lab, if something doesn't work, what's the first thing we say to ourselves? Don't panic. Okay, remember, don't panic, right? Things don't always work the first time around. So what we want to do is really think about maybe why it didn't work, and then go from there. So I haven't tested mine yet, so we'll see really quickly. Okay, so I've got my paper and ready. Now, I am also not sitting right behind it in case it backfires and comes up towards me. So I'm sitting off to the side. I don't know if you can see this or not. Like, I'm off to the side of it. So I'm gonna, okay, here's another attempt. I'm keeping this at normal speed. I haven't changed the design at all. First one went a tiny bit further. It cleared the table just by an inch or two. And now I'm going to do another treat for you. Okay, notice the spoon one goes a little bit higher, or a lot higher, and doesn't fly quite as far. It gets more lift and loft than it does length, projectile. Again, try different things. Try changing the height that is between your launcher and and find out how that impacts your launching. Like, also change the distance of the fulcrum and find out what happens. So these are all variations that you can do. You slide this forward or backward and find out what happens. You can also build the height up here or make it lower and find out what happens. Also, try changing the distance of the Catapult cup up and down the shaft and see what happens to how far and how high your projectile goes. Again, be safe, have fun, and no aiming at people or pets. I'm watching you guys. Hey, and if you can drop a video, like take a video of yourself when you're launching or making, I'd love to see it. And I will have a place for you. You can have instructions if you want to send it in to me. All right? Have a good day, and I hope you have a great time building.